A brutal beating is blamed on politics. Tonight, we'll hear from the state senator's son who was attacked. Tonight, Sean Kedzie speaks. He says he was beaten up because of a Mitt Romney yard sign.
And this is a story that is making national headlines. In fact, a link to the story on NBC15.com was posted on the Drudge Report. This is a photo of Kedzie taken immediately after the attack. You can see his eyes are swollen shut there. And this is what the injuries look like today, now 4 days later, as he continues to recover. Initially, the family wanted to keep their thoughts on the attack to themselves, but say now that the story is getting national attention, they want to use it to point out when it comes to politics, things have gone too far. NBC 15's Chris Woodard sat down with the family today and has more from Whitewater.
Here at the scene of the crime in Whitewater, there are no longer any political signs in the front yard. In fact, the lawn is completely bare, and at this point, the only sign of any political affiliation is the piece of metal wire that once held a sign, now empty, and a Scott Walker sign that's been torn from the stand.
In a quiet neighborhood along a busy street, people are having a hard time imagining something so small, so common,
the eyes are really sore right now,
could lead to something so brutal.
During the beating, they're saying things like Romney sucks and F Romney and go Obama.
Early Friday morning, Sean Kedzie heard a noise, looked out his front window, and saw two men stealing his Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan yard sign.
Hey, you have something that belongs to me.
He says the two men charged him, and before he could defend himself, he was in a chokehold, punches raining down on his head.
Everything was going black, and it's all just closing in from the sides.
He says there is no question what prompted the attack.
Definitely politically motivated when they start saying things like F Romney and Romney sucks and go Obama.
Kedzie was taken to the emergency room by ambulance that night.
Initially, somebody says, you probably have a skull fracture, on the sides. It's freaky,
He's still sore, but will be okay. X-rays showed no fractures, just nasty bumps and bruises.
It's still pretty swollen along the sides.
It's as bad as what you...
It's an attack his father, State Senator Neil Kedzie...
What has happened to us as Wisconsinites, as Americans...
is still having a hard time understanding.
...is so absurd and so appalling, but is so indicative of the course of politics today.
Something so normal in front yards across the country...
all over a sign,
being blamed for a beating this 22-year-old will have trouble getting over.
If this is what it's come to, what's the next step?
Whitewater police are involved, and at this point, they tell us this is an active investigation.
Republican state senator says his son was attacked because of his political views. Sean Kedzie is the son of Senator Neil Kedzie of Elkhorn. He's recovering from a beating that sent him to a hospital emergency room. It came after he confronted two men who were stealing his Romney Ryan yard signs in Whitewater. When Sean Kedzie tried to get them to stop, he says he was held down and beaten because of his Republican support.
It was choking me so hard I couldn't even get the words please out of my mouth, just to beg them to stop. If I hadn't had a Mitt Romney sign in my yard, I never would have been targeted.